Welcome, crypto fam, to the #1 daily Bitcoin pod. Let's go. In today's show, I'll be breaking down the latest Bitcoin technical analysis, as well as the 5 things to watch out for in the Bitcoin market this week. Also, BlackRock and Fidelity Bitcoin ETFs reached the top 10 in January flows. That's right. BlackRock customers are buying more than 150 million Bitcoin per day, which is wild. We're also going to be discussing South Korea regulator to discuss spot Bitcoin ETF with SEC Chief Gary Gensler. We're going to get an ETF from Korea along with Hong Kong. I'll be breaking this down for you. We'll also be discussing breaking news, El Salvador. Guess what? Bukele just got reelected president by a landslide, setting precedent. I mean, they say he won by roughly 83 to 88% of the vote, which has never been done before in history. We'll be discussing his win and what this means for the people of El Salvador and for Bitcoin adoption. Also in today's show, Bitcoin will be scarcer than gold after the halving with a $500,000 Bitcoin price target. I'll be breaking this down for you. We'll also be expecting Bitcoin hitting $1 million per coin by the year 2028. That's right. We'll be discussing this plus so much more in today's show. Now, welcome everyone just joining us. How's it going? Big celebration. Let me know if you were able to see Bukele's speech last night. I know I was retweeting the heck out of it. I know Max Kaiser had a lot of lives I was retweeting as well, live and in the flesh, but a big celebration, big news. So I'm very excited that Bukele will be in office for the next 5 years. Welcome everyone. Let me know if the stream is loud, clear, and smooth first and foremost. Shout out to Jason, Silas, Knoxville, Dankness. Greatly appreciate all your support, broski. Nukchoris, always a pleasure. Jennifer Conkright. We got Matt in the building. Good to see you, Matt. 100X, send it, 100%. I mean, what Bukele has done to the country of El Salvador is unheard of. Who would have thought the homicide capital of the world would be now considered one of the safest places to live in the world and the safest place amongst the Americas, right alongside Canada? That's pretty remarkable, to say the least. Loud and clear. Love to hear it. I still think Bukele rhymes with A. No way that rhymes, baby. No way. Loud and clear. Sunny Virginia. Send it. Poland, welcome. Good to see you as well. Crypto Color Lights. Let's get it. Long live the king. BTC. You already know. Now, Bitcoin was like 43,500 when I was prepping the show, getting the stories ready. And we just dropped, I guess, that $700 gain that we had, which is interesting. We're currently at 42,700. So we'll see if this pump for this week shall sustain. I believe so, especially with all the momentum with El Salvador having, a pro-Bitcoin president. What are your thoughts, family? Watching from Kentucky. Every world leader should pay attention to him. What an amazing leader. 100%, he is the top G of all leaders because he's incorruptible, just like Bitcoin. There you have it. A incorruptible president and a incorruptible monetary network. Doesn't get no better than that. Separating money from state. That's what's up. What up, broski? You're good? Good to hear, Lucian. Good to see you, broski. Time to sort out the USA. That's right. It may be time to flee the USA. We'll see how things go down later this year. Big presidential election year as well. The year of the halving. We have a halving scheduled to take place in like 71 days. So just over 2 months, man. Right around the corner. Greetings, King. How you feeling? Feeling 100%, family. Thank you, Terrell. Appreciate it. Short squeeze eventually. Supply shock, demand shock as well. Greetings, Kepler. What it do? Pump it up. Don't you know, pump it up? Actually, I do.
Pump it up. Don't you know, pump it up. You got to pump it up.
Also, shout out to Michael Saylor. I believe yesterday was his official birthday, but I see people celebrating his birthday today as well. So I don't know actually if it's today or yesterday, but nonetheless, mad respect to the Giga Chad. MicroStrategy was the first publicly traded company to put Bitcoin on the balance sheet. They now hold roughly 200,000 Bitcoin. So shout out to Sailor. Messing with you. Bitcoin is like messing with my emotions. Smokey. Classic Friday. One of my favorite films back in the day. Hilarious. Great film. Knoxville. What it do, family? Cheers. Early show today. It's only 11 a.m. Eastern right now, so we're still early in the day. I predict the globalists will try to elect themselves. They're experts after all. Yeah, it's pretty much what they do. They elect their own. Pretty normal, right? Wasso, be connect. Classic E. Cheers, family. Bitcoin is teasing us with the sideways action. Pretty much. Pretty much. I think 50,000 is going to be incoming inevitable. I'm calling it February 50 Gs. I can be wrong, but I'm very optimistic, especially with it having like 70-ish days away. It's going to come before you know it, family, right around the corner.
Which one's the best crypto asset? Well, Bitcoin's the best crypto asset. Okay, what's the second best? There is no second best.
I'm not saying I'm number one. I'm sorry, I lied. I'm number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Boom. Just stacked more stats this morning. Congratulations, Jennifer. Music to my ears. Take advantage of it. These prices won't last forever. That's for sure. After the halving, expect fireworks, as we always have. So we could have some sideways trading action. Until then, anything's possible. But I'm saying the 40,000 price range is not going to be long-lived, especially when we enter price discovery mode. It's going to be onwards and upwards from there. So if you are looking to buy Bitcoin at a discount, think about it sooner than later. Listening in Cornwall, Canada. Shout out 1701 Patrick. Appreciate that. Shout out to all my Canadians, eh? Spent the night in Morro Bay and witnessed the power of Mother Nature. Love it. Where's Morro Bay located? What country are we referring to? What up, JV? 50 February. Let's go. I'm with you, Brian. Send it. My older cousin says Bitcoin is going to go up in 2025. Of course it is. I agree with your older cousin because 2025 is the year preceding the halving, typically the year we hit the cycle peak. And if history is to rhyme, I mean, 2012, 2016, and 2020, it was always the year after that halving. So 2013, 2021. And if history rhymes, it'll be 2025, we hit the cycle peak. Where do you guys think that cycle peak will be? Let me know. They want to shake out weak or financially stressed hodlers? Always. Of course, they want to spread FUD and put the fear of God in you that investing in crypto is risky. Meanwhile, the most risky thing to do is ultimately holding and saving fiat currency because it's mathematically guaranteed to go down in purchasing power as they continue to print until the wheels fall off. So never listen to these corrupt mofos, aka our oppressors. Never, right? In fact, whatever the mainstream FUD is, just do the opposite. Just like we inverse Kramer, inverse all those mofos, including Jamie Dimon, Miss Finance, Janet Yellen, Christine Lagarde, Jay Powell, the whole bunch of them, even No Hair Gare. You know what I mean? Morro Bay sounds like a prison somehow. Who is that stud on the thumbnail? Yeah, I had to, every once in a while, I'll put my own face up on there. So I appreciate that, family. Early start, let's go. Me likey, good to note. They say the early bird catches the Bitcoin. I just coined that phrase. The people that tell us to not invest in Bitcoin are the people buying a lot of course. You already know the game. Mass deception. Tune into Channel Zero, aka Crypto News Alerts. Always tell you the truth. Hello, JV from Texas. What it do? Friend Stella from Texas. Good to see you. What it do, Nath? The people tell us, not yet, 100%. I'm going to reach an all-time high in 2024, price discovery all the way into late 2025. I think you're right. I think we enter price discovery mode 2024 and 2025, potentially third or fourth quarter. We hit the cycle peak. Previous two cycles, we hit it in the fourth quarter. I remember the 2017 all-time high of roughly 20,000 was in December because I remember it was around Christmas time. I'll never forget. And then for the cycle peak in 2021, that was on November 10th to be precise. Again, fourth quarter. If history is to rhyme, that could be fourth quarter again in 2025 with a massive, unprecedented run up, potentially a double top. We shall soon see. Waiting for the moon. Morro Bay is coastal California. Been decades since I was last there. Beautiful. That's what's up. Thanks for sharing. VT Gothic. On February 5th, 2016 in Japan, Bitcoin was 42,000 yen. Today, one Bitcoin is over 6 million. Are you for real? One Bitcoin is 6 million yen. So it seems then the yen has been hyperinflated, clearly, as Bitcoin continues to appreciate, right? Very interesting. Thank you for sharing, John. Thanks, bro. You're very welcome. Hello and love from Liverpool. Shout out Tony Jeffries. Appreciate your support. JB, what's your favorite places to get Bitcoin news? Typically, first source I go to is always crypto Twitter, aka Crypto X, because that's where you find stuff before it's even published. You can just follow your favorite content creators or influencers. For example, you can follow Michael Saylor, you can follow Max Kaiser, and you can get it directly from the horse's mouth. And other sources, as far as articles are concerned, are the same ones I reference in the show: Cointelegraph, because they have a lot of news and they're very consistent, and Daily Hodl. Those are my two favorite sources I check first, and then I continue news.bitcoin, Bitcoinist, News BTC, Crypto Potato. But every single day I search all of those sources to try to get you the latest and best news to share with you. But I think the very best is always going to come from X, because you can get breaking news before it's even breaking news, if you know what I mean. So for example, Max can share a tweet and it could be very powerful, and then I'm the first to report on it because there's no other news story that exists except me sharing it. And typically when I do that, we'll get more eyeballs to the channel because I'm talking about something that can't be found anywhere else. So X is my number one source, without a doubt. Not late, Liverpool, just reading the comments. Precisely. We didn't even kick off the show yet, family, but pump the likes to pump the stream. I greatly appreciate that. If you're new to the channel, be sure to smash the subscribe button to receive daily premium crypto news alerts every single day, just like this. Also important to smash the like to help support the channel, the content, and help get more eyeballs here, as well as pumping the likes helps pump the stream. Also important to hit the bell icon to turn on all notifications. That way you get notified each and every day when I go live, because every day it's typically a different time. I try to remain on the same time, but it's physically impossible with my schedule because I have to design the podcast around my lifestyle as a father. So just FYI. So today I'm going live early. Maybe tomorrow we'll go live a little later, but we'll soon see. That's why it's important to turn on all notifications. Now, today is pod episode number 1542. JV been going hard now for roughly 6 years, consistent daily content. And yeah, I'm your host, JV, and this is February 5th, 2024. We just had a historic day. Bukele reelected for president of El Salvador for the next 5 years. We're going to be discussing all that here shortly, but let's kick it off with our market watch, as we do each and every day. Now, Bitcoin was 43,500 like an hour ago. When I was prepping the show, I went live and we already pulled back some. So currently at 42,700, down 1% on the hour. Let's zoom out a little on the daily to see where we're at. And it shows we're down just 0.77% on the day. We also have Ether in the red, along with BNB, Solana, XRP, Cardano, and AVAX. One of the top gainers is actually Chainlink, up 5%, trying to recapture 20 bucks, currently trading at $19.24. And checking out coinmarketcap.com. The current crypto market cap sits at 1.64 trillion with 42 billion in volume for the past 24 hours. So volume is up 41%. Bitcoin dominance, same as yesterday, 51.2%. And the Ether dominance barely on the climb. I think yesterday was 16.8. Today is 16.9%. And checking out the top 100 crypto gainers for the past 24 hours, we got ENS up 8%, GNO up 7%, and Chainlink up 5.5%. Below that, FXS, IMX, SUIOP, and FTM. Now, which altcoins, if any, are you most bullish on for this bull run? Holla at your boy. And checking out the crypto bubbles to get a visual perspective, you can see virtually most of the major cryptos correcting and in the red, some down pretty significantly, over 10%. We got a handful, though, in the green. Like I said, Link, FXS, and a few others. And checking out the Crypto Greed and Fear Index today, same as yesterday, a 60 in greed. Last week was a 55. And last month we hit a 70 in greed. And I think the local top for greed was 76 around the time we hit that 49,000 current high for the past 22 months. And checking out the Bitcoin halving clock, we're 72 days out until the Bitcoin halving. It looks like it readjusted the estimated halving date based upon the blocks, and it's now down from April 18th to April 17th, even sooner than expected. And this can be off by a few days, keep in mind, because it goes by the block rewards on the blockchain, so it could go faster or slower, but at this current time, this is the estimated projected time of the halving. If you're pretty ecstatic for the halving coming up here in 2024, let me know. Sailor is near me, says Silas. Nice. Where is that? Where does Sailor live? Let me know. JB is the best dad. He gives all of for his little Padawan. Oh, I greatly appreciate that, Dankness. Love and life, family. Greetings from California, West Side. Monday pump day. You already know. SUI and SEE are likely a good, what does that say? A good lay. Does that mean a good buy? A good lay. Right on. Smash that like button, community. Thank you, John 3:16. Many blessings on blessings on blessings. I followed Saylor, but the judge said I was stalking. That's normal before the halving, Thomas. CNBC, NYT, and CNN, all great for crypto. TIA, Celestia is up incoming, right on. April 17th is my B-Day. Oh, snap, Brian. So imagine double celebration here live on the show. We'll be singing you happy birthday and also having same day. That's going to be pretty big. That's awesome. I know we got some people with their birthday on the 18th as well. So it seems either way, we're going to celebrate someone's birthday on the same day as the halving. Saylor in Northern Virginia in the DC area. Good to note. Appreciate you sharing, Silas. Have you guys ever met Saylor? Let me know. JV, there is no second best. Appreciate you, Earl. Much love, fam. Lay copulation session. Oh, copulation session. Interesting. What's up, DD? Dankness. A good lay, AKA getting busy with a lady. Pretty much my first thought, Joe. That's why I had to question it. Bitcoin is moving too slow. This will hurt the bull market. You think you can hurt the bull market? I don't think so, because the true bulls have diamond hands and you can't phase them, right? Bitcoin can hypothetically drop to $2,700 tomorrow. The diamond hands would not sell, right? Would you guys sell if your Bitcoin lost, hypothetically speaking, 90% of its value within the next 24 hours? Would you sell at that colossal loss, or would you just say, hey, I'm just going to hold until it recoups its fiat equivalence or whatever, definition that is? I sure as heck wouldn't sell. There's no way. Because here's the bigger picture. One Bitcoin today is one Bitcoin. One Bitcoin 15 years ago at the inception of Bitcoin was one Bitcoin. And 100 years from now, one Bitcoin will still be equivalent to one Bitcoin. So the only way to really lose is to sell at a loss because you got coerced into selling because the mainstream FUD was too strong for your diamond hands, right? No, I'll add 9% more, Brian. There you go. Even if it dropped 99%, who's going to sell? People who are crazy. People who aren't firm believers in it in the first place. You know what I mean? The people that could easily be shaken out. The people who probably should have never invested in Bitcoin in the first place. The same people that never did their research and due diligence, in my humble opinion. Yeah, stack more sats at that price. You got that right. But anyways, fam, let's now discuss the 5 things to watch out for in the Bitcoin market this week, as well as check out some of the charts where the Bitcoin price action is likely heading next. First and foremost, Bitcoin price indicators forewarn volatility. I've been stressing this as well each and every day. Around the time of the halvings, we always have extreme volatility. So at around 42.5 on Bitstamp, Bitcoin's latest weekly close was its second highest of 2024. What followed was familiar behavior. Bitcoin sought to sell off, this time offering to retest of 42.2 before rebounding to around 600 higher. And again, this morning we were 43.5 and now we're correcting once again in the 42.5 range. And here you're looking at the Bitcoin 1-hour chart. Bid liquidity thus preserved the current zone of interest within the wider range that Bitcoin had acted in for more than 150 days. And quoting analyst SKU Analytics, Bitcoin's Coinbase spot, most of the limit bid that protected the low in the previous tweet has now been filled. The key taker flow on Coinbase now and limit bid supports the price, else likely gets faded later. So there you have it, coming from SKU Analytics. And conjuring memories of mid-January in the aftermath of the come down from the 2-year highs above 49,000. He additionally flagged 43.1 as the key level to overcome. And again, this morning, we did overcome that level, but currently back underneath it. So he also says, what I'm looking for today is if price continues to hold for the 1-hour, 4-hour trend, and if the buyers sustain a move above 43.1 with the diagonal downtrend line. And this chart featured including both simple and exponential moving averages on the 4-hour chart, as well as the sloping resistance line, as you can see outlined here. And also talking about the RSI, which is the relative strength index and Bollinger Bands. They both began to give signs that volatility may return. On the weekly timeframes, the RSI RSI has reset to lower levels while the spot price has consolidated, as noted by analyst Matthew Hyland. As he points out here, Bitcoin weekly RSI has been trending down while the price has consolidated. And he also points out the Bitcoin 3-day Bollinger Band squeezing the tightest since pre-30,000 move break in October. Now for the second factor to keep your eyes out on this week, a pre-halving Bitcoin all-time high. Send it. Let's go. Currently set for April 17th. This will cut the amount of miners that they receive as a reward for mining each block by 50% from over 6 to 3.125. While still more than 2 months away, the impact of the halving on market psychology is already being discussed and closely monitored by commentators. Their ideas of what could end up happening to the Bitcoin price action as a result may vary widely. In a market update on February 2nd, Trading Suite Decent Trader CEO and founder Phil Philb adopted a tone of resignation. In his eyes, this halving year will play out like others before it, with no significant price gains until many months after the event. What is expected, however, is for the market to sell the news about the halving, just like with the January launch of the first spot Bitcoin ETFs. He also wrote, so in terms of forecasts, it seems reasonable to expect some continued choppy consolidation until early March, before some additional FOMO towards the 49,000 level, followed by the sell the news event again. Bitcoin has a tendency to front run the sell the news with a halving, so bear that in mind. Following the halving, Bitcoin has taken 220 to 240 days to break a new all-time high. I am expecting a similar outlook with Bitcoin taking a trip to new all-time highs in mid to late Q4 of 2024, which gives some time for a correction to test investors' resolve in between. Now, I'm going to skip some of this other analysis and go to our next factor to watch out for. Spot Bitcoin ETF scoop up Bitcoin. That's right. In fact, I'm going to be covering this in more detail in our next story because BlackRock and Fidelity are straight up killing the game with inflows right now. But here's a tweet from ETF analyst James Safehart. The volume race isn't even close today. GBTC trouncing the peers by over 100 million. Another day with aggregate dollar volumes below 1 billion though. And the other factor to watch out for is China vows to step in as stocks halt. That's right. Beyond Bitcoin, what was chalked up to be a relatively quiet macroeconomic data week already had potential to surprise. This time it's in China at the helm of volatility as equities hit 5-year lows and the CS1, or I guess CSI 1000 index crashed 8%, halting trading for 30% of the stocks. The drama follows liquidity injections from Beijing and the bankruptcy of China's second largest property giant by sales, Evergrande. In the statement issued on February 4th by Reuters, the China Securities Regulatory Commission, which is the CSRC, said it would steady expectations and confidence and adamantly ward off abnormal market fluctuations. China's equity market seemed to be finally joining their collapsing real estate market. China's HY real estate index is down over 85% in just the past 2 years. The question becomes, is this crisis contained? And as the Kabisi letter shares breaking, China's CSI 1000 index is now down 8% today and 30% in the first month of 2024. Over the last 10 days, China's CSI 1000 index is down a massive 21%. And just minutes ago, China's government pledged once again to help stabilize the markets. How do they stabilize the market? QT, money printing. It seems to be the same solution to this fiat money corruption. But what are your thoughts? And the next factor to keep your eyes out on this week, the whales rebalance and big moves. They say, watch the smart money. Well, smart money is the whales. Behind the scenes, and despite the range-bound Bitcoin price landscape, the whales are being seen to prepare for change. In its latest investigations, Jihad Sentiment noted major shifts in whale population composition. Over the past week, the number of wallets holding between 1,000 BTC and 10,000 BTC is now at its highest level since November of 2022, while 100 to 1,000 Bitcoin wallets are contrastingly at their lowest since that time. Numbers stood at 1,958 and 13,735 wallets. Bitcoin is ranging between 41 and 44,000, but whale wallets are moving big this week. And shout out to Sentiment. They recently reached out to me, and I actually want to do something with them that I think will be pretty cool for the show. So let's do that. If you'd like to see that, let me know. And so yeah, let's check some more comments, family. Let me know your thoughts at the current state of the markets and where do you feel the Bitcoin price action is likely to go next. Let's go. My brother was checking out some condos in Rincon. Snap. I'm going to be in Rincon in a couple of weeks on a little vacay. They say it's some of the nicest beaches on the island or on the West Coast. I'm more on the East Coast, so it's like probably a 3-hour drive. But nonetheless, that's what's up, man. That'd be pretty lit. Bitcoin is a casino, not digital cash. I wouldn't call Bitcoin a casino. China, and they said Bitcoin was volatile. I meant right. Meanwhile, China stocks are all crashing. Now, keep in mind, volatility is a good thing. They use that term as like a propaganda FUD term. It's volatile. That's a good thing. That's a great thing. I'm glad it's volatile and appreciated 500 million% since inception. That's cool. As a sailor described it, volatility equals life force. And the dollar may seem stable on the surface, but it's losing purchasing power tremendously against everything else. That's why groceries cost more. That's why real estate costs more. That's why cars cost more. That's why everything costs more. Because the dollar is really volatile, extremely volatile to the downside. But at least Bitcoin has volatility to the upside and the downside. And over the long term, it's on a 15-year bull cycle, right? So choose your weapon accordingly. Today's Satoshi goes on trial. Fake Toshi, you mean? The Copa, right? Yeah, that'll be interesting. See how that plays out. I don't think anyone at this point actually believes that guy, that fraudster, that he is Satoshi. We know the man behind him pulling the strings now. I unveiled that on previous episodes. We discussed it. Max Kaiser blew the whistle on that. So now you guys know the real deal. China did the fiat printing thing with apartment buildings. Not surprised. Yeah. Shout out to Gates, Antichrist. Thanks for subbing, family. I'm looking at in the window because usually the planes aren't yellow, and I just saw a big yellow plane, which is interesting. So it's like distracted a little here. But anyways, being at Sailor's birthday.
There's no second best crypto asset. There's a crypto asset. It's called Bitcoin, right? The point is, if you have the superior asset, it's going up forever, Laura.
You heard that first and foremost. You have the superior asset. It's going up forever, dankness. What do you guys think? You support BlackRock, not Bitcoin. I don't know who you're even talking to there, Hammer, but I definitely don't support BlackRock. I've been blowing the whistle on them for a very long time. Back when Larry Fink, their CEO, called Bitcoin an index for money laundering. I understand BlackRock is an enemy of Bitcoin. However, that enemy is now going to be one of the largest hodlers of Bitcoin, and already is. And they're just getting started. And I think there's a very sinister plot. I've blown the whistle on this many episodes as well, that I think the ultimate plan is for BlackRock to accumulate all the Bitcoin they can, as well as other asset managers doing the same. They'll collectively have millions upon millions of the Bitcoin stash, and then there'll probably be some form of executive order to confiscate the Bitcoin from the custodians, for example, Coinbase. And then, boom, they give you the USD or CBDC equivalent in fiat trash. And now the government is one of the largest holders of Bitcoin in the world. And this was probably all plotted a very long time ago. I hope I'm wrong, but at the same time, respect thy enemy and understand what they're capable of. And this is a theory that Max firmly believes, and I firmly respect Max's opinion as an insider in financial markets for 40 years and basically going against the corruption within Wall Street and the financial markets. You know what I mean? Happy birthday to the Sailor. BlackRock owns Sailor and Kaiser. No, BlackRock does not own Kaiser, so I don't know why you would say that. BlackRock owns a piece of MicroStrategy, but actually the largest shareholder of MicroStrategy is Vanguard. I know this because we looked at the percentage shares a few episodes back. MicroStrategy, BlackRock owns a piece of MicroStrategy, but Vanguard is the largest shareholder. So yeah, these big corrupt organizations that claim to be anti-Bitcoin are also having indirect exposure to Bitcoin. Max is incorruptible and free, just like Bukele. You can't corrupt Max. Max is probably one of the wealthiest Bitcoiners on the planet. And guess what? You can't tell him what to do, and you can't coerce him into doing anything because he stands up for what is right. He's been speaking out about the corruption via the Kaiser report for a very long time. And that's why the show got canceled. And that's why it got scrubbed from YouTube. He's the real deal. So I don't respect those types of ignorant comments coming from Mr. Hammer. Bitcoin is not digital cash and can't be because it has small. So, hey, Hammer, what are you promoting? Are you promoting the dollar? Are you promoting Satoshi Vision or another pump and dump coin? Let me know so we can get down to it. Yeah, right. Now that's pretty idiotic, Hammer. Definitely not. Now I'm starting to think maybe you are. So we obviously have a troll in here, Dankness. So it is what it is. I guess you make the show more entertaining. Here comes the pump. Send it. But anyways, family, let's dive into our next story of the day. Continue pumping the likes, the pump, the stream. I greatly appreciate that. Let's discuss these ETF inflows, which I touched upon. BlackRock and Fidelity Bitcoin ETFs reached the top 10 in January flows. BlackRock and Fidelity spot Bitcoin ETFs have ranked amongst the top ETFs with the largest January flows, totaling 4.8 billion. Wow, just in the month of January, fam. BlackRock's iShares Bitcoin Trust had an estimated 2.6 billion in net flows, reaching 8th place, while the Fidelity Wise Origin Bitcoin ETF landed 10th place with 2.2 billion in net flows. And according to a February 3rd report from Morningstar research analyst Lan Tran, what an interesting name. Actually, Lan and Tran, even more interesting of a name. Using data approximated from the issuer's websites, the U.S. is home to over 3,100 ETFs as of December 31st, 2023, according to Y Charts. The data showed that Grayscale's Bitcoin Trust, GBTC, had the second highest outflows amongst the ETFs in January, with 5.7 billion estimated to have net exited the fund over the month. Quoting Nate Gerasi right here, never thought I'd see the day. The president of investment advisory firm ETF Store, Nate Gerasi, said. 2 spot Bitcoin ETFs amongst the top 10 of all ETF inflows in January. There you have it. And in a separate post, he said that BlackRock and Fidelity's funds are in a clear two-horse race amongst the 9 new Bitcoin funds. He added that the joint ETF from ARK Invest in 21 shares, along with Bitwise's, both with assets under management shy of 650 million, were developing as a strong middle class and predicted they would hit 1 billion in assets in the not too distant future. Morningstar's report comes amid the US spot Bitcoin ETFs notching 6 straight days of net positive inflows totaling nearly $715 million, most of which was carried by BlackRock and Fidelity's funds, according to data posted on X by BitMEX Research. The trading days from January 26th to February 2nd saw inflows into the 9 new spot Bitcoin ETFs surpass the lingering outflows from GBTC during the week, with the ETF seeing its second lowest outflow day on February 2nd at 144 million, as you can see in this chart as I blow the hair out of my mouse. Goodbye, Nipsey hair. There we go. My mouse is working again. The 6-day run of inflows came after a 4-day spree of outflows between January 22nd and the 25th, when GBTC outflows peaked and 431 million net exited the 10 ETFs in total. We had Bloomberg senior ETF analyst Balchunas wrote in a post that it was really something to see that the 9 ETFs bar the GBTC comeback from the last dip last week. Typically, there's a slow decline after a big hype launch, and the net inflows to the funds on their 3rd week of trading shows these ETFs have legs. So there you have it. And as shared here by Crypto Rover, BlackRock customers are buying more than 150 million Bitcoin per day. There is 89 billion in available supply right now. That means BlackRock buys 0.17% of the available supply every day. Let that sink in, family. Talk about a supply shock incoming, only a matter of time. What are your thoughts, fam? Let me know.
Take all your time, figure out how to borrow more money to buy more Bitcoin. Then take all your time and figure out what you can sell to buy Bitcoin. And if you absolutely love the thing...
Tell him, Sailor. JV, you're not screen sharing. Oh, that whole time I was in screen sharing? For real, that happens from time to time. I think I'm screen sharing. I'm like showing you all this stuff and you're looking at my face the whole time. Good to note, Phil C. Good to note. Thanks for the heads up. JV's teasing the ladies with his blowing technique. Hey, don't give away my secrets. Yeah, yo, so these mouses have these little sensors And somehow these little hairs get on my mouse pad some way, somehow. And every once in a while, I'm like reading a story and my mouse will not move. And I'm like struggling with that the entire story. Hence this last story, and probably what threw me off my game and why I didn't share my screen. So my apologies. Blow it, JV. You got that right. Slap that troll. Pop, 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 pop. Just show respect. I don't mind the trolling, but when you show disrespect to people I respect, that's disrespectful to me. You know what I mean? Saying stupid things like Max is CIA. Where's the logic in that BS? That's offensive to me because he's anti that organization, right? If he was a part of that, he would be pro Christine Lagarde. He would be pro, you know what I mean, Miss Binance, Janet Yellen. He would be pro Jamie Dimon. He would be pro bankers. Max started a movement called the banker, what would that stand for again? Banker occupation against whatever. I forget the initials, the acronym for it. But Max is the freaking man. He's a living legend. So you got to put respect on his name. You know what I mean? Don't be respectful means I have to agree with all the BS lies. 1 million Bitcoin. Teach their own, Kevin. Not at all. I just said be respectful to the people. I don't care what you say about Bitcoin. You can say Bitcoin's going negative $1 million. I can care less. But if you're going to spread FUD about people I respect that has no basis of truth just to troll and to get some attention from me during the live stream, like, no thank you. Host your own stream and spread the FUD. When is crypto going to go up? It's getting scary. It's not moving up at all. Maybe you should sell all your bags, family. Do what you got to do. If you don't have the patience to wait, I don't understand why you're in Bitcoin to begin with. Pump the Bitcoin dude. Give him a like.
That you don't want to sell it, go mortgage your.
Cheers, Francisco. I never called anyone any names. Go back. I never referred to you, Kevin, so I don't know why you're even referring to me. I never called you out. I was calling out another troll who dissed Max and dissed what is his name? Everyone we were just talking about. I can care less about your comments there, Kevin Cortez. After you already put me on a timeout. Well, you're obviously not talking to me because I don't put anyone on timeout. So you're talking to someone else. But anyways, if you got put in timeout, maybe you were a bad boy and deserved it. Got to shake out the weaker hodlers. I'm talking about your mods. Oh, okay. Well, I give Dankness moderation permission because I respect him as well. So please don't disrespect the mods because he's been a moderator helping me for free out of the goodwill of his heart for the past few years. And he puts in more time and energy than anyone else here besides myself. So put some respect on his name as well and just respect him. You know what I mean? Mara, bottom is in. Is that another altcoin, LM? Let me know. Silas, cheers. Facts, baby.
House and buy Bitcoin with it. And if you've got a business that you love because your family works for the business that's in your family for 37 years and you can't bear to sell it, mortgage it, finance it, and convert the proceeds into the hardest money on earth, which is Bitcoin.
Yeah, just do what Sailor says. Anyways, next story of the day, we're going to be discussing Gensler meeting with regulators from South Korea to discuss ETFs. I already shared with you a few episodes back that Hong Kong just recently submitted their first ETF applicant. So they're looking to launch their own spot ETF. So this is the game theory I've been preaching for a while. Now let's see what's happening with Gensler preaching and speaking with the regulators in South Korea. And curious, anyone here ever been to South Korea? Let me know. I visited the airport once. I have the photos to prove it because we got the Korean flag next to us with my little daughter when we were traveling. But nonetheless, here you go. The headline reads, South Korea regulator to discuss spot Bitcoin ETF with SEC chief No Hair Gare, aka No Claire Gare. South Korea's Financial Supervisory Service, FSS, the chief financial regulator in the country, is planning to tap the U.S. SEC for insights into spot Bitcoin ETFs. The FSS examines and supervises financial institutions under the broad oversight of the FSC. FSS Chief Lee Hon presented a business plan for 2024 at the Financial Supervisory Service in Seoul. February 5th. The plan includes visits to major advanced financial markets such as New York in the second quarter of the year to discuss various aspects of South Korean financial markets, including discussions on spot Bitcoin ETFs. According to the report, the FSS chief revealed that he plans to meet SEC Chair Gensler later in 2024 to discuss digital assets and spot Bitcoin ETFs, amongst other issues. He added that the SEC's recent approval of the spot Bitcoin ETFs had a major impact on the world's financial policies. The announcement from Lee comes weeks after the SEC approved the first spot Bitcoin ETFs here in the States. I believe that was on January 10th. They approved all 11. The SEC previously denied spot Bitcoin ETF apps for over a decade, citing the small size of the crypto market, which makes it prone to market manipulation. And after the SEC approved the spot Bitcoin ETFs, the Korean securities regulator warned local firms against brokering spot Bitcoin ETFs from the US. However, at the time, it said it was planning to review and update its regulations around spot Bitcoin ETF trade approval in the US. South Korea is one of the leading regulators of cryptocurrency markets in the Asia-Pacific region. The nation has often followed in the footsteps of the US regarding crypto regulations, such as banning the use of credit cards for crypto purchases and outlawing crypto mixing services. So there you have it. And as outlined here in the news, South Korean Financial Supervisor Service Governor Lee meets with SEC Chair Gary Gensler to discuss the ETFs. And this is coming from the South Korea, whatever, I can't read Korean, but nonetheless from their news outlet. So this is the real deal. So let me know your thoughts on what's happening there. And do you think potentially that South Korea can follow in the footsteps of the US SEC and also launch a Bitcoin ETF sooner than later? Let me know your thoughts. Koreans have good currency too. It's easier for the countries with junk currencies. Good to note, Silas. What's up, Jennifer? Brian says, let them hate. When they hate on Bitcoin, they are talking about Bitcoin. Exactly. Free publicity. Tong Du Chon. What does that mean? Phil D's? Any news on Qatar buying? No updates. As soon as I get an update, that's going to be the headline of the story, because that's a big story. Talking about for those that don't know, a $500 billion sovereign wealth fund of Qatar looking to convert that into Bitcoin, according to some insiders, according to Max, which he has shared and I've covered several times on the show. Second Infantry Division, first tank, says Phil, right on. Just bought the dip again today. 3 buys today. Go, Jennifer. That's what's up. Keep stacking. Much love. Jason says, what a hammerhead. You guys are funny. Elon Musk just sold all of his Bitcoin. Now what? Is that something new, or are you just spreading FUD? I know a long time ago that Tesla, they dumped 75% of their Bitcoin holdings. So if what you're saying is true, are you saying that Tesla dumped the remaining 25%? Are you saying Elon dumped his personal stash? Let me know your thoughts, because I would think I'd see that all over X if that did happen. That's why I question it. But let me know if it's true, guys. Appreciate it. I was stationed in South Korea for a year. Oh, good to know, Koo's dog. When I was in the Army, Itaewon, it's a party place in Seoul. Nice. I never left the airport there, so I think on that trip I was probably going to like Bali or Thailand or something and end up taking a stopover in their airport. And their airport was very nice, by the way. I remember they had very nice stores with like all that high-end stuff, like a lot of the malls or the airports have in Asia. Asia has a lot of money, family. That's for sure. Can the family please answer a question? Is there a 1 million Bitcoin in the world or just the USA? What do you mean by that? Are you asking, does 1 million Bitcoin available supply exist on the exchanges? Yes. Or are you asking regarding price action? If you could rephrase the question, Gaines, I'm happy to answer it if I could better understand it. And you guys can help me as well. Blessings on blessings. Cheers. Appreciate y'all. Exactly. Respect. That's my favorite quality in somebody. Loyalty and respect. And if you show loyalty and respect, I always show it back, regardless of your opinions, beliefs, thoughts. I don't judge. But if you're disrespectful to people I consider family, then that's not a good look. Yeah. And that's why we got Nipsey here. Most loyal and respectful dog. Man's best friend. Well, someone said the Bitcoin worth millions of yuan. Oh, okay. You're referring to the Chinese renminbi, also known as the yuan. more than likely, I don't know the conversion rate. I have no clue. I haven't lived in or been to China since I lived there back in 2010, 2011. Put your lighters up. I appreciate that, family. Always cool when you guys put your lighters up. Cheers.
Which one's the best crypto asset? Well, Bitcoin's the best crypto asset. Okay. What's the second best? There is no second best. There's no second best crypto asset. There's a crypto asset. It's called Bitcoin, right? Right? There's no second best. Okay.
Anyways, family, still got a lot to cover. Let's just dive into our next story. The big story of the day to me is all about Bukele. So this is the breaking story. Headlines read, El Salvador initial polls show Nayib Bukele to win the election. Well, guess what? He already won the election. He made a brilliant speech last night. Look at their White House. I don't know if it's called the White House, but it looks impressive. Wishing I was there. And you can see him and his beautiful wife on the balcony here, giving his, I guess you would call that inauguration speech or acceptance speech. I can't wait to translate it into English personally, but I highly respect this guy 100%. More so than any other political leader or president in the world. What they have done to El Salvador is remarkable. And Max points out volcanoes are natural wealth, and Volcano Energy, which is his company, is mining Bitcoin with El Salvador's volcanic geothermal energy. And quoting Bukele from the speech, he said, "Our country is small. We have no natural wealth, no exploitable resources, and we're very poor compared to the giants of the world. Salvadorans are paving their own way, and we want to be friends with everyone and respect all. We ask nothing from you. Neither money, nor donations, nor international assistance. The only thing we ask for is respect." Wow. No wonder I love this guy. I mean, we speak the same language right there. Most important thing he's asking for, the only thing he's asking for, is respect. So put some respect on Bukele's name, family. Here we go. The pro-Bitcoin Salvador president, Bukele, is widely expected to win. No, he did win by roughly 87% of the vote. It is official as of last night. And I think no one even came close. Look at these other guys. I think the next highest dude had 3 or 4% of the vote, and there's never been in political history such a landslide like this. And I actually saw some of the videos of people lined up in the United States and Long Island, in Texas, Virginia, to support Bukele, unlike anything I've ever seen before. The people truly and genuinely love him. Even here in Puerto Rico, sometimes I wear this hat and people will stop me and show their support for Bukele and have respect for me just because I respect Bukele, so I think that's pretty cool. Now, CID Gallup reported exit polls showed Bukele's party received 87% of the votes, with Flores and Sanchez taking 7% and 4% respectively. Now, clearly, Bukele won, so he's going to be serving for the next 5 years until 2029. And correct me if I'm wrong, fam, but I think this is the first time in El Salvador's history that a president has received 2 terms back to back. And the numbers speak volumes in of itself. As you can see here, Bukele, 87% of the vote. And then this guy looks like he got 7%, Flores, and only 4%-ish for Sanchez. So again, massive landslide. Now, in a post, Bukele proclaimed victory before any official results were even announced. He said internal party data showed he won the election with more than 85% of the votes, with at least 58 of 60 deputies in the Legislative Assembly for El Salvador. As pointed out here, let me read the translation. According to our numbers, we have won the presidential election with more than 85% of the votes. That record in the entire democratic history of the world. And yeah, at 9 p.m. he did the that speech at the National Palace, which is pretty cool. I retweeted a lot of his tweets yesterday, as well as Max, who was there live and in the flesh. So if you missed that, check it out on my X account, family, and support me over there as well. I appreciate it. Now, a spokesperson for the country of National Bitcoin Office told Cointelegraph it expects an even higher proportion of the votes going to Bukele once the official results are out. Bukele made Bitcoin legal tender, as we know, in El Salvador back September of 2021. Interestingly enough, 2 months before the all-time high, amongst other initiatives supporting Bitcoin. In February 1st, their vice president reportedly confirmed Bukele's Bitcoin strategy wouldn't change if he is reelected. The Salvadoran president is also known for his crackdown on gang crime. In 2023, Amnesty International criticized Bukele's leadership for an alarming regression in the protection of human rights, which risks replacing gang violence with state violence. Several critics, such as Salvadoran lawyer Alfonso have argued the country's constitution prohibits Bukele from seeking a second consecutive term. Quoting him here, today is a good day to remember that immediate presidential re-election is prohibited up to 7 times by the Constitution, and said that when news broke Bukele filed paperwork to run again in October of 2023, El Salvador has been touted as potentially becoming the Singapore of the Americas by Van Eck strategy advisor Gaber Gerbax, who expects more investment capital and immigration to flow into the country in the coming years. Now, I'm curious, how many of you are anticipating, look how beautiful this family is, how many of you are anticipating, what was I just talking about here? Oh, yeah. How many of you are anticipating potentially relocating to El Salvador, taking advantage of Bitcoin City, and potentially becoming a resident and relocating out there? I'd love to know your thoughts. And if any one of you are currently living in El Salvador or plotting a trip out there, let me know, because I personally would love to visit and can't wait to see it with my own 2 eyes and meet Bukele if I get the opportunity to do so. And also, while I'm out there, I got to get an interview in the flesh with the one and only high priest of Bitcoin, Max Kaiser. Is it a national palace? Great speech. I watched it all. Congratulations, El Salvador. Man, it looks like a national palace. I would love to visit. So where do I get that mouse pad, JV? You should be able to order this off my merch store. It's old, but nonetheless, it's merch.cryptonewsalerts.net. Basically, you'll notice a lot of different designs, and anything you see could be put on t-shirt, hat, tank top, sweater, hoodie, mouse pad, even like for the phone, what do they call phone cases, all that stuff. So I think every design you find on the merch store can be created on 30 or 40 different products. So we have a lot you can customize on there as well. Nothing but respect for Bukele, the model of all other politicians, relocating if necessary. Love to hear that, Thomas, and my sentiment precisely. Coolness. That's right. Check out CNA's merch page. Appreciate that, Dankness. That's right. And my links to everything are always in the description, so you can support me multiple different ways. The easiest and free way to support me is simply tuning into the show every day, pumping the likes and interacting in the comments, and make sure you subscribe to the channel. If you want to go beyond that, you can cop some merch. It's a win-win. You can send donations. I accept through the Bitcoin Lightning Network. My address definitely in the description. Also, you can send Ether, or you can just become a member of the channel for as little as $2.99 a month. That supports the movement as well, and we greatly appreciate that. We now have over 600 members on the channel, and we just launched memberships less than 2 months ago, so I would have never expected so much support, so I greatly appreciate y'all. Much love. Also, I'd love to visit El Salvador. Never been there. Bukele is the man. El Salvador turned around in 3 years. Think how fast it could turn back. Ain't moving nowhere, man. Well, guess what? It's not turning back anytime soon for the next 5 years, so that's a beautiful thing. Good morning, JV. Bukele 2024. Let's go. Yes, now I got to get a new hat that says Bukele 2029. As the UK circles the pan, moving to El Salvador is looking more and more attractive. Preach. Good morning, JV. Bukele. Let's go, El Salvador and Bitcoin. Shout out Juan Romero, Pure Vita family. Appreciate you.
Which one's the best crypto asset? Well, Bitcoin's the best crypto asset. Okay. What's the second best? There is no second best.
There is no second best crypto asset. This is the 3rd month, sir. Congratulations. I see that now. Wow. You got the light green or teal. That's what's up. So you guys will notice your first month of being a member, dark blue. Second, is it light blue? And then it turns teal/greenish. Pretty cool. So you guys have been supporting us now for the 3rd month, which means we completed 2 months of memberships. We just started the 3rd month. So just moving into the 3rd month now. Brilliant. Love you, JV, but not giving you sats, man. Well, maybe if we reach 1 milli. All good. I'm not asking for anyone's stats, so it's all good, family. I appreciate your support every day tuning into the show, because that's helping me more than you know. So thank you. How's Vitalik's mom's coin doing? I always get asked this question. No idea, family. Green. Oh, is it green? Okay, yeah, it is actually green, because you got the blue. That's definitely like the Jordan blue, the light blue, that North Carolina blue. And then Knoxville got the green. Dankness got the green. That's what's up. Every month it's going to change colors. It shows your loyalty to the channel. And loyalty, as I said, gets rewarded around here. Loyalty and respect. Very important combination right there. But anyways, fam, let's dive into our next story of the day. I appreciate y'all. Pump the likes to pump the stream. We just discussed the breaking news of Bukele remaining president until at least 2029. Now let's discuss this Bitcoin halving and a 500,000 price prediction before we discuss $1 million price prediction potentially by 2028, which is going to be the following halving after 2024. But let's focus on this halving. Bitcoin will be scarcer than gold after the halving. 500K is predicted. That's right. Over the weekend, Bitcoin TA and Stock to Flow model creator Plan B said that after the halving, Bitcoin will be scarcer than gold in real estate. That's a fact. However, he added he wouldn't be surprised if Bitcoin's market cap, currently less than $1 trillion, stayed below gold, which is currently less than 10 trillion. Now, I've heard other estimates that the gold market cap was 13 or 14 trillion. Can someone look that up for me and let me know the precise number? Because I'm curious. And if you can post that in the chat, I appreciate it. With some basic math and assumptions, this implies a Bitcoin price greater than $500,000 by dividing a 10 trillion market cap by 20 million coins. Quoting Plan B here from X on a February 3rd post, after the April halving, Bitcoin will be scarcer than gold in real estate. It would surprise me if Bitcoin's market cap, which is less than $1 trillion, will stay below gold's market cap, which is above 10 trillion. This implies a Bitcoin price greater than $500,000. And then it says 10 trillion slash 20 million. I guess he's referring to the 20 million coins with a 10 trillion market cap. Gold stock to flow ratio is 60. The real estate stock to flow ratio is 100, with the Bitcoin stock to flow ratio 110. Now, Bitcoin may never drop below 31,000 again is another bold prediction he recently shared on X. As shared here, for Bitcoin's market cap to increase tenfold, it would require a massive influx of fresh capital, which doesn't seem to be there at the moment, considering the current climate. February 4th, the analyst referenced the stock to flow model again, referring to the Bitcoin 200-week moving average, which is currently at 31,000. Bitcoin has never dropped below the 200-week moving average before, leading the analyst to conclude the following. So 31,000 might be the absolute floor, and Bitcoin might never see 31,000 ever again, in my opinion. Let me know if you agree with that sentiment. And in the short term, Crypto Hamster, interesting username, identified a bullish pennant chart pattern. I mean, only in cryptocurrency market do we get usernames like this that we actually take serious, right? The Crypto Hamster said, it looks like Bitcoin is printing a bullish pennant. Let's wait for the breakout. Currently is threatening to break it to the downside instead, but if all goes well, we can see at least $45,550. Let me know if you agree or disagree with that analyst. And Rec Capital shared the following. Bitcoin's on the cusp of invalidating the bearish divergence with a break of its RSI downtrend. So there you have it, family. And before we dive into our feature story of the day and discuss $1 million Bitcoin price by the year 2028, let's check the comment section once again. Romel says XRP Army. Curious, who's the commander-in-chief of the XRP Army? Because I used to always see videos of Ben Armstrong on X. I'm the commander-in-chief of the XRP Army. Is he still your commander-in-chief? I hope not. But I'm curious if you guys still have a commander-in-chief. Oh man, there are about 1 million Bitcoin left to mine, but there are 4 to 6 million Bitcoin lost, much greater scarcity effect than a halving. So the halving is really a non-event, just psychological, says XX. Well, here's the thing. Right now, the ETFs alone are 10x the Bitcoin supply. And after the halving in 2 months, it's going to be at least 20x the Bitcoin supply. So we're absolutely going to get a supply shock. It's a coming, and it'll probably be when everyone least expects it. You know what I mean? Basic stock to flow, supply demand. That's all you really need to know. Limited supply becoming more limited, massive demand equals number go up technology. Hamsters have mouth pouches. I know I saw a video. I forgot what kind of nuts or peanuts, but the hamster had like 100 peanuts in each side of the cheek. So I guess he just likes to store as much food as he can and look like this. And then he was just spitting them out. And I was like, no way. That's kind of crazy. Quant analysis, please. Are you talking about like quantitative markets? Are you talking about the cryptocurrency quant? I don't have any analysis on that. But here's the thing, why we focus on Bitcoin. When Bitcoin does well, quant and the rest of the crypto market will all do well as well. That's just how it is. If Bitcoin's not going to do well, and it's like suffering some short-term, bearish scenarios, the alts are going to suffer even worse. So a rising tide rises all ships. If I'm bullish on Bitcoin like no other, which I am, that means I'm bullish on the market in general because rising tide rises all ships. Bitcoin's going to 32,000 to execute the buy order for the Saudi cousins. I know you've been praying for that, Muhammad. And I can't wait for your Saudi cousins to come on board and for all that oil money to enter Bitcoin. But I'm not so optimistic that we're going to see 32,000 and drop 10,000 from here. But if that's what we need to do to get these Saudi buy orders, we'll see how it plays out. Where gone Bitcoin today? Hamster is a true hodler. That's right. We need to hodl like these hamsters. They get it. Allah candle 70 G's. Let's go. Total supply of Quant only 14 million. That's right. I know it's a scarce crypto. I know it represents interoperability, which is definitely a technology necessary. I have a question. Why is the IMF requesting El Salvador reconsider? Because they're corrupt mofos and they hate the fact that Bukele said to the IMF. They hate it and it drives them crazy. They don't want their help because they don't help countries. They cripple them. They give them loans they can't repay so they can take over. You know what I mean? Y'all read Confessions of an Economic Hitman? Check that book out. A rising tide lifts all boats. There you go. Thank you, JB. Anyways, let's dive into our feature story of the day and discuss this $1 million Bitcoin price prediction by the time of the next halving, not the halving in 2 months of 2024, but by the time of 2028. Here you go. The headline here reads, will Bitcoin hit 1 million by 2028? Experts clash over this bold Bitcoin price prediction. We have Tuur Demeester, Bitcoin evangelist, has not too long ago shared his views on Bitcoin's potential to succeed and hit the $1 million mark by 2028. Demeester's view on this matter presents a cautious distinction to the number of the extra bullish predictions within the crypto sphere. This tempered perspective comes when others, akin to Samson Mao, specific strong confidence in Bitcoin's skill to hit this milestone following the next halving. That's right. Demeester's skepticism was articulated in response to a post sharing a graph by investor Fred Krueger, which advised Bitcoin would possibly attain the $1 million level stage by 2028, as outlined right here. Whereas anticipating the grass mannequin, Demeester expressed uncertainty, acknowledging the unpredictable nature of the market and its capability to defy even essentially the most well-constructed fashions. As he outlines here, will it take Bitcoin until after summer 2028 to reach 1 million per coin? I don't know, but I do know that every beautiful model as this one is destined to be broken by the market. And this was in response to Fred Krueger's tweet alongside with this chart that wrote, this graph is simply amazing. When you plot price and time both in logarithmic scale, it is clear Bitcoin is just on a relentless power law. Let's go. Now, the anticipation surrounding Bitcoin's value of $1 million is intently tied to the halving occasions, which happens roughly every 4 years. After this 12 months halving, the subsequent halving is ready to happen in 2028. These occasions cut back the variety of new Bitcoin mined per block by half, limiting the provision and probably impacting the worth. That's right. The upcoming halving is set to take place in not 12 months, but in actually roughly 70 days, as I pointed out earlier. And we'll see the everyday minting of Bitcoin Slash. And I don't think these numbers are that accurate either. So anyways, amid these predictions, ex-consumer claiming possession of the expansion plot referenced by Demeester chimed in with some insights. They argued that some market legal guidelines, just like the time worth of cash within the inventory market, are much more likely to be damaged. Equally, the pure adoption charge of Bitcoin could possibly constrain its explosive progress, offering room for market actions without breaking the underlying mannequin. I mean, so there you go. Let me know if you agree or disagree with Tuur Demeester. And quoting H.C. Berger, "Hi Tuur, this plot is mine. Some laws are not broken by Mr. Market. An example, the stock market grows by roughly 7%. This cannot be broken to the upside because of the time value of money, essentially. The time-based power law, likewise, is hard to break to the upside because that would go," waiting for this to open, "that would go, where we go. Yeah, that cannot be broken because of the time value. Hard to break to the upside because that would go to counter to the natural adoption rate of Bitcoin, and too much selling pressure would be generated. Also note that the ranges are quite large and plenty of room for the market to move without breaking it. So here's some various other views. Different Bitcoin lovers, including Samson Mao, CEO of Jan3, are extra optimistic. Mao envisions Bitcoin reaching that 1 million milestone, probably in a sudden surge, inflicting max pain for a number of market gamers. And in fact, I've covered that max pain scenario from Samson Mao several times here already on the channel. This dramatic enhance, he suggests, might occur swiftly inside days or even weeks, although the exact starting line stays unsure. And as Samson shares here, my main prediction is the run up to 1 million happening in days to weeks, starting point to be announced or to be determined. And in analyzing potential triggers for the Bitcoin rally, Mao considers numerous factors as outlined here in this tweet. ETF inflows, hash rate, Bitfinex whale accumulation, 200 weekly moving average trend, Tether, USDT assets under management, government interest payments on debt, debt GDP ratios, nation state Bitcoin adoption, real inflation, as well as the M3 money. So there you have it, my crypto fam. Let me know if you agree or disagree that Bitcoin could potentially hit this $1 million milestone by the year 2028. JV's personal prediction, I think we hit the 7-figure milestone in 2029. I know it can potentially happen this year. It can potentially happen by 2028, but I think it's most likely scenario in 2029, because if history is to rhyme, we've seen every time there is a halving since the inception of halvings back in 2012 for Bitcoin, it's always the year preceding the halving. We hit the cycle peak, just like we did in 2013, just like we did in 2021, and just like we will more than likely do in 2025. However, if that model breaks and we hit the cycle peak in 2024 and we go back into a bear market in 2025, that would tell me that the cycle has changed and we may potentially see a $1 million price prediction come true in 2028. But let me know your thoughts, fam, and let's read some comments. Welcome to the Q&A session of the show. I'm going to stick around for roughly 10 minutes, and then we're going to go to the uncensored version on Rumble, and we're going to discuss some Tupac conspiracy today. I prepared some videos for you guys of Tupac back in high school when he was 17 years old, extremely feminine, and some videos of, I believe, who Tupac is now, because I believe he faked his death, just like Machiavelli faked his death. You know what I mean? Interesting topic, but I'm only discussing it exclusively on Rumble, and we can talk about anything else as well, of course, but that was the hot topic yesterday, so I prepared some videos for you guys to blow your mind, and I'll leave it at that. JV, right on with the IMF, 100%. Thank you, family. We don't trust these fools around these parks, and anyone anti-IMF is on the good side, and that's how I know Bukele is a real one. Facts. New all-time high in 2024 and price discovery mode in 25. Let's go. That's what's up. Tupac is in Puerto Rico, says Lord Drip. Well, according to Suge Knight's son, he's in Cuba, but he could travel, he can go anywhere he wants. I have a video of him in Switzerland that's going to blow your mind. I would move to Bitcoin City. That's what's up, Neil. Yes, 2028 to 2030. That's why in 2020 I was hearing 1 million in 2030 and got in. Nice. Send it. I lost my membership status. Oh no. Maybe you are one of the people who got gifted. And so how it works when you get gifted the membership status from someone kind on the channel, you get it for free for 30 days. And then it's up to you to, continue with it if you feel the benefit from it and supporting the show. It's up to you guys. I lost it. But yeah, that's how it works. And when people gift memberships, like every month I gift 10 memberships, and there's probably 200 plus memberships being gifted on a monthly basis. You may get blessed again, you never know, but it's totally random. So we don't actually get to choose who we gift. We just click the button that says gift 5 memberships or gift 10 memberships or gift 1 membership, and it randomly selects it. Tupac got murdered in Vegas and his dead body was left on the street and died. Actually, no, that's inaccurate, Keith. That's the official story. If you live in the Matrix and believe what the news reports, there's hundreds of video evidence to prove that he was never murdered. I'm a firm believer he was never murdered. There was no blood in the crime scene. 0. Wonder why. And there's, I can't talk about it more here. We're on YouTube. We'll talk about it later on Rumble if you care. Thanks for the info. You're very welcome, Chief Santana. Agreed. Virginia man. Cheers. I'm anti-IMF, but they are not going anywhere anytime soon. Exactly. It's the international monetary fraud. Yeah, I live in the Matrix. Exactly. I understand. I mean, I cried when I was in 6th grade and I got the news that Tupac got shot and murdered. I literally cried. I was on the bus. I cried. So, yeah. How about Biggie? We'll discuss that on Rumble as well. I'm going to blow your guys' minds today. When continue? Continue with what? I'll be back here on the tube at 9 p.m. Eastern for the premiere of today's show. We'll condense it into 30 minutes, and I'll be here in the chat with you guys. But every day I stream live on YouTube and Rumble. When the YouTube stream ends, I stick around a little extra longer, exclusive on Rumble for the uncensored version of the show, so I can talk about things that are actually really fun to talk about that I can't talk about here. Because I don't want my channel to be shadow banned again or unlawfully terminated again based on false assumptions, which has happened previously. So that's why we Rumble. Still up 16 G's, baby. Love to hear that. Chainlink or AVAX? It's a great question. I'm bullish on both. I think they'll both perform very well this cycle. So it's kind of hard to choose. There is a vid saying Pac is or was really Kobe Bryant. I don't believe that, but I don't believe Kobe died in that helicopter either. And we can discuss that later as well on Rumble. Abducted by aliens? Nope. Tupac is getting his salad tossed and peeling the potato now. No, he's not in jail. He's a free man. He's under another artist alias name. I'm not even going to mention the name on the tube, but I'm going to actually share videos of the person that he is now, like more recent videos of him. And he has the same scar. He has the same teeth. It's the same person. Yeah. So XRP or Sheeb, man, I'm not a fan of either if I can keep it 100. Trolls are back. Welcome back. Guess who's back? Back again. Yeah, it's interesting. If I start talking about certain topics, it's going to attract more trolls. Silas, the Meldas were acting like if Bitcoin didn't make El Salvador rich overnight, it failed its promise. Oh, the media. Of course. And so if you type in Bukele, all the mainstream media headlines, dictator, in parentheses, like Barron's, BBC. So it's very easy to see who the enemies are, right? The enemies, you know what I'm saying? The mainstream, because all the good people, they FUD with propaganda and terms, and they all use the same terms. So any news source calling Bukele a dictator is anti-freedom, anti-liberty, and an enemy of Bitcoin. So it's very easy to determine, who are the good guys and who are the bad guys. You know what I mean? You bottom fishing, Silas. But anyways, family, limited on time. Got to pick up my daughter here shortly. Head on over to Rumble, only if you care to learn about some Tupac conspiracy and my personal belief that he never died, faked his death, and is still living. And I'm going to show you videos of who he is today, if that interests you. If not, I'll see you later on the tube, family. 9 p.m. Eastern, we'll be back. I appreciate y'all. Head on over to Rumble right now. It's rumble.cryptonewsalerts.net. There's also always a link in the description, or you can just open up the Rumble app, type in Crypto News Alerts. You can't miss the stream. See you there shortly, family. Let's go. All right, YouTube.